So what started out as a pretty innocuous hand pre-flop ended up being what I thought was the most interesting hand on uh, in the entire match. And I recorded some of the footage, and I'm just going to go over it in real time. So pretty standard pre-flop. Ike does his normal min raise, and Isildur calls, and then check raises a 2-3-4 diamond diamond flop. Now Ike three bets it, and they're quite deep. They started out being around um, like 170 big blinds deep, and Isildur puts in this big. Um, Actually, no, it's almost like a min four bet on this flop, and Ike flats. The turn brings the flush and brings a four straight in there as well. 6-7 is going to be the nuts here, and any six has the nut straight. Obviously, the ace has the wheel, and Isildur bets around 2/3 pot on. I mean, what should be the ultimate scare card, and Ike takes forever on this turn to call, but he does. The river brings the ace of diamonds, and Isildur shoves. It's a four straight. I mean, there's a straight on the board, and there's a four flush, and Ike tanks. He's getting, I think, roughly 4-1. Makes the call with the nuts straight, and Isildur shows the flush. So I think pre-flop seems standard. On the flop, Isildur check raising there I think is pretty standard. Ike three betting that flop, given how deep they are, and given how draw heavy it is with him holding the nuts, I think is pretty standard. Isildur four betting it is fine, and I was wondering, why doesn't Ike put in that, one more bet on the flop? There's just so many draws that Isildur can have, and let me go back to the flop bet sizing just to kind of discuss that. So on the flop, right? So Isildur puts in around 4,400 on the flop, which is a fourth of a stack. Now, I guess Ike is taking a chance here that Isildur isn't going to have. I mean, basically, any kind of blank rolls off, Isildur's going to continue betting, and it's just unlucky that this card came. But so I guess from that perspective, I kind of understand his flop play. But the river just really blew my mind. How not only does Isildur shove his 7-high flush for value here, but Ike calls him. So if you guys have any insight into Ike's flop play to just flat, and B, Isildur's decision to shove that river, and then Ike's decision to make the call, please feel free to enlighten me, because like I said, I thought this was the most interesting hand of the match for just the reasons I mentioned.